Greetings and welcome to Stunthangar Video Hangouts Halloween. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening in Dreads. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar Video Hangouts. If you are watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar Forum member to find the link to be a part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member or not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the pardon me, the At the Bench link will not appear. If you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That means Smart Men Flying, courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in but just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here, and I'll do my best to make your comments a part or questions a part of the show. Now, understand, sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient. I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comments. And by the way, you only can make comments or questions during a live stream. So like I said, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening, starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host, or the many building videos, Saturday at John's videos, contest coverage that Sparky does on this platform, informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. And please subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell and select all so that whether myself or Sparky comes on, you'll be notified. Please also consider joining the Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And by the way, I'm a member and I have the $4.99 come out of my checking account each and every month, and I don't miss it, and I suspect you won't either. Plus, sharing the videos, comments, all those activities help the YouTube channel grow. And don't forget our super chat, which is right below the chat box. That is another way that you can support us, and we appreciate super chats big time and memberships big time. Please support what we're doing. I hope you love your hobby and as passionate about it as I am. Now, with your memberships, you'll get special badges and stickers that Spark and I can see in the YouTube chat box, and unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. Stunthangar is Sparky's channel. If you want to get in touch with me, go to my channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt. All the letters are there. Place your comment or question on the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which Sparky shot with his video camera, me flying his Junar XL. It was my first time at the Nationals, and it's a video of my first official flight there, and with very little practice with the plane I wasn't familiar with, but a good flying plane. Anyways, I wanted to, if you do that, I'll be notified and be able to respond to you quickly. If you choose to make comments or questions on Sparky's channel, I might not get it. I actually don't go there, but maybe to log on to the show. So go to my channel if you want to get in touch with me. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversation family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children and grandchildren. And without any further ado, I'm going to post the link now at the Stunthangar forum, and I'm actually doing it right now. I just spoke it into existence. So that's posted. That's how you get into the show. And it's really, unless I know you, there's another way, but until I get to know you, please do the way through the forum. That's the safest way to keep the trolls out. And now I'm going to go to what I call the control panel. And let's see here. Let me get there right now. I'm just having fun tonight. I don't have any hair. The only hair I have is the hair I bought. So I'm doing this in fun. Hope I want to encourage you, if you want to come in with a costume or maybe your flying hat, that'd be well received. So please do that. Let's have some fun tonight. Our kids are out there having fun, our grandkids are having fun. Why not us, right? My kids are out there having fun. And so I'm going to be here mostly by myself, and I'm going to have some fun myself. So anyways, I see all thumbs. He says, happy Halloween. Love the hair. Thank you very much. And Tom Ramel says, like provided. And hey, Tom, all right. Just a second, I'm just finishing up.
Howdy, partner.
Howdy, partner. Yes. 1 second, Tom. Maybe just do something real quick. Yeah, I'm just having fun, might as well have some fun. Got to be here. So I'm going to enjoy myself while I'm here. Just another click or two and you'll have my undivided attention. And let's see here. Got it. And here we go. Hey, thank you guys for coming in. Appreciate it. I see Tom Ram, you got you. Is that your flying hat, Tom?
It's my Oshkosh.
It's your Oshkosh hat. Very cool. Hey, Keith, how you doing?
Doing good.
Great, great. And Gary Sinclair, how you doing?
Good.
All right. So anybody do any flying lately?
Just getting packed up tonight to leave tomorrow morning for Vegas.
All right. I think I'm leaving Thursday morning with Joe Mata. Yeah. So anybody doing any flying this weekend? Did you was able to fly Saturday or Sunday, Keith?
No, that Chiseler's gonna be, first flight will be Thursday and we'll fly competition Friday. We'll see how that works.
Oh, okay. All right. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting having a new plane out there and see what it does. Well, you built, this is your 6-1. So
Yeah.
I bet you it's going to fly pretty good off the bench, I bet.
Well, everything looks like it's lined up and I have same belt. Well, it's going to be nose heavy when it takes off. It's going to be tail heavy when it lands. So we'll see how it works.
Very good. How about you, Tom? Did you do any flying off the lake or?
I was gonna do some flying today, but ended up not being able to do it. But most of the weekend I spent on CAD program making some formers for my C-47 that I'm gonna build next.
Oh, cool.
And so I'm CADing those out so I can cut them on the laser cutter.
Very, very cool. Very cool.
How big is C-47?
It's pretty big. The formers are 7.5 inches tall for the fuselage.
Wow.
Yeah, C-47 escapes my.
It's same as a DC-3.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Only military version.
Oh, okay. Very cool. And I watched your video, Tom, on the arming plug. Your video on the arming plug. Installing an arming plug. You don't remember that?
No.
It must have been an old video, but it was your video. It was on your channel. It was a good video. I hope I remember to give you a like. I'm pretty sure I did. Yeah, it's a good video. I already have an arming plug. I use it regularly, but it was in my home feed, and I said, I'll just check out Tom's video and give him a review and a like.
over 100 videos. Maybe I don't remember all of them.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So Gary, have you received any more pictures? Have people sent you any pictures or anything? I know I need to send you a picture myself.
Yeah. Did you get my stuff? Email?
You know what? I haven't been on my computer.
Okay, I've sent you 2 emails. The last one is an updated one. So,
Okay, I'll have to check it out. Yeah,
yeah.
I was in my garage working on some new landing gear for my SV11. Actually, Jeff Riley, who might come in later on today, he actually laid it out for me and cut it up, and then he sent it flat in a envelope, and it's to set the wheels a little bit further back. And so I'm not sure if I bent it up this weekend. Maybe I did. I bent it because it was shipped flat in an envelope, and I have a 18-inch brake that I bent it all up. And then once it came out good, then I started finishing it and painting it. And so that was what I was mostly doing this weekend. And I also painted some wheel pans. I hope to mount the wheel pans as well as the new landing gear. It looks like John is making his way in here. I hope it's John Miller, our evil Santa. I don't know. He said he was going to do evil Santa, but we'll see.
I didn't do evil Santa.
I was going to call you to remind you. I meant to get after you, but I'm expecting evil Santa.
Well, I didn't. Is that close enough?
Yeah, I used to put your hat on and then you'd be like evil Santa.
Yeah. It's in the other room. I'll go get it.
Yeah. Might as well have some fun.
Yeah.
So anyway, took out the new landing gear today, and it has 3 holes to choose from for the axle. And I first tried it all the way back, which is a little bit, I'm not sure. I think according to Jeff Riley, I think it's 3/8 of an inch further aft than stock. Tried that. It was okay landing. Then I moved it forward 1 hole, and then I started getting some landings that were like, yeah, that's what I want. That kind of landing. And but then the wind came up. I got there kind of late. I had to drive. I don't know if you're familiar with San Diego, but I went to where the San Diego Sports Arena is at. It's a big parking lot. They normally have like a Kobe swap meet, but that's only on weekends. So I went there this morning and pretty much had the place to myself where I was flying. I just did 1 pattern, then I did the majority of the remainder flights were just taking off and working on my landings, and going to work on more on the rollout, taking off tomorrow, and the landings, and try to get that tightened up, because I fly mostly on grass, so it's quite a shock to me when I land on asphalt. How much I bounce. Because it's a totally. There we go, evil Santa. There we go. That
couldn't find my shades.
That's all right. That is cool.
You look great in dreads, by the way.
Oh man, this is. I wish I had hair to have dreads. I mean, that's the way I would do it.
Would you?
Oh yeah, I definitely would. That's in me. I mean, most of my family is from the West Indies, Jamaica and Trinidad, and I like reggae music. I like all kind of music. I mean, I really do have a very wide acceptance of music. I like
a broad palette.
Yes, I really like. I was a musician most of my early childhood, so I love music. So,
well,
anyway, so
play an instrument, Charles?
I used to play the clarinet in several bands, but that kind of music is, for the most part, classical music, I guess, and stuff like that. I mean,
you never heard blues with a clarinet?
A little bit. There was this one musician, I can't think of his name. I have a cassette of his music, but the clarinet really wasn't my first choice. When I first started playing, we were talking about model airplanes. Anyways, let's get back to model airplanes. So, anyways, hey John, did you do your maiden flight yet?
No, I see see this right over here?
Make it big here. I'll make it big here. The twin.
It's
Yes.
all repaired.
Oh, fantastic.
And I redid the gear on it so that it won't fold on me, because I was afraid of that. And so here's how the engines are right now.
Oh, wow.
And all I got to do is bolt a few pieces on them, bolt them on, bolt the tanks on. The tanks, because of the amount of space in there, even though I lengthened the front out a little bit, I just barely can't really get a 4-ounce RC tank in there.
Right.
And they're shorter than a 4-ounce metal tank.
Right.
But anyway, so the tank that's in there, I can't set up like I like to set up the Uniflow. So they are Uniflow, but they got the pickup and the Uniflow connected to the oh, come on.
Clunk.
It's up and down with the fuel load.
Oh, yeah. The
Clunk.
clunk.
Clunk, there you go. It's such a hard word, you know, it's
Yeah,
4 letters.
That's a big one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Evil Santa, you probably been hitting the bottle kind of hard too. So that might be part of it.
Bottle, man, I ate a whole bunch of Hollywood.
Now, John.
Huh?
Now.
Well, I ate a whole bunch of candy.
All right.
So I got a good little sugar high
You
going
do
on.
have a sugar high. Let me welcome Mark Wise. Thank you for coming in. And let me welcome Walter. Thank you,
Hi,
Walter,
Walter.
for coming in. Good to see you, Walter Umlin.
How you doing, guys?
Doing well.
Hey, Walter.
How you doing, Mark?
Good. Good.
So I see we got some Halloweeny participants.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
I probably
We got-
should have
we got-
promoted it.
We got John, the evil Santa. Are you supposed to be Blanta or Marley?
You know what? I wouldn't mind being Bob Marley in my dreams.
No?
Yeah,
I
Bob
think
Marley.
Sparky X that on if you go to the live stream or the streaming part,
Yeah.
YouTube. Yeah.
Sparky did what?
I think it was Sparky asked if you were Bob Marley.
Oh, I see. Okay, I see it now. Yeah, he said, let me catch up on the chat. So Sparky goes, Gary, send me a PM with your phone number and I'll send you a photo. And do you have a cell phone, Gary? Or you have this is a landline?
This way, I got a cell phone.
You have a cell phone? Okay, so send I give Gary send Sparky a PM with your cell phone number and then he'll send you a picture.
Okay.
And then he goes on to say, is Charles supposed to be Bob Marley?
That's
You know what? I'm actually, and in all honesty, I'm just going to be the best Charles Carter I can be. In all honesty, that's. I wish I had dreads. I'd be styling some dreads if I had hair. So.
Well, I thought I would go as a cue ball,
Yeah, that'll
shave my
work.
head.
That'll work. That'll work.
Hey, Charles,
Yeah.
right now it's just very hard for me to recommend that people dial in. But I did take a screenshot
Oh,
with my phone.
all right.
This is
I mean,
awesome. This is
yeah.
awesome.
Yes.
You and Tom and John look terrific.
Yes. Thank you very much. And then Joe Gilbert should come in with a fedora. And I think Dennis Adamison might come in. I don't know what he's going to do. I see Walter Umlin, you gave us a like. Thank you very much, Walter. And Ed Carlisle says like sent. Dennis Adamison says like delivered. Rasta Charles. Very good, Dennis. Very good.
Well, there's a
Awesome.
guy that looks just like Keith.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Like
Keith.
Yeah,
Very good. And then here comes Stuart.
Hi guys.
Hey, Stuart, how you doing, man?
Good.
So I've been asking people.
Who are you?
Hey, I'm just Charles Carter reincarnated. This is my inner being coming out, showing out.
You look 20 years younger.
Thank you. Very much. Thank
What
you.
hair will do for you, I tell you.
Yes, it's
Yeah, send
amazing.
some my way.
Yes, absolutely. So did anybody do any flying since
Yep.
weekend, or you did?
No, but I
Stuart?
measured the span
Yeah.
on the twin flight streak.
What is the span on that, John?
73.5 inches.
Wow. Well, I have flown a twin flight streak. Dave Sabon, when I had crashed my my Banshee, did not have a plane. He said, well, the only plane he had was a twin flight streak. And that thing, I mean, I'm a pretty strong guy, and that thing pulled my arm off. Oh my goodness. I never had a plane pull so hard in my life. It had two
Look at Dennis, he's a stud muffin over there.
hey Dennis. Oh man, all right. Fantastic, man.
Hey, I
Man.
just got off from work.
Chippendales, right?
I'm a Chippendale for the local retirement home. All right.
It's a tough
Very good,
job,
man.
but somebody's got to do it.
Awesome,
That's
Dennis.
it.
Oh,
That's
thanks for
it.
joining. Thanks for joining in fun, man. I appreciate it.
Been too
fantastic.
long here. So
Hey,
That's
Dennis,
cool.
I'm returning your Pampa dues.
yeah, I heard you say you took a screenshot, and it's like, okay, now you'll probably burn it. So
Well, he
Oh,
might
no.
want you to stand up. I don't know.
Oh, I don't.
I don't know. No. If I can control this from about the neck up, then it's not so bad. But
There you
All
go.
right.
anyhow, yeah.
Very good. So,
That's all.
Stuart, you went flying this weekend. What did you fly?
Or sorry, what did
Did you go flying this weekend, or?
I just flew my combat plane, and I'm like this close to getting the pattern. It's like,
Oh wow, that's great.
so I'll get her hopefully I'm hoping to do it this week. We'll see.
Hey, you know what? Flying stunt is not easy. I'm not sure who it was who said it. Maybe it was Billy Werbridge. He said
Billy
flying
Werbridge.
stunt is hard,
Yeah.
and it is hard. So don't be too hard on yourself. And Joe Mata, don't be too hard on yourself either, because it is not easy. We make it look easy, but flying stunt is hard, especially if you want to do a precision.
Some of us make it look easy. Some of us,
Yes.
and I ain't one of them.
And I wouldn't say it's just a combat plane either. All right.
This isn't a mask. All right.
Yeah, that's it. This isn't. Yeah, that's more like it, isn't it? So
Yes, this isn't a
Okay.
mask. This isn't a mask. Very good.
Hey, Dennis, have you mastered your brother's files on the motor, the electric motor?
No, I
mount?
haven't even touched it. I can't do the 3D CAD work. I don't have enough computer power and or anything like that. We got the
What do you
files in
need,
the
a
hands.
special-
We finally got the files in the hands of my nephew, and he's working 70 and 80-hour weeks, and he hasn't been able to do anything with them last I heard either. But
Couldn't you just take over your brother's computer that was operating it?
it was all take care. Honest to God, I wouldn't know how to run the programs for it or anything like that. So
Oh,
I think his son took his computers. Not sure. All his printers were either sold or given away and all that. So
any of you guys know how to work a CNC machine, a miniature one?
I
Raise your
don't.
hand.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I knew you did.
I purchased one of those miniature CNCs. What is it, 3018 or something like that? And
Yeah,
and I'm sorry to say that I can't figure this thing out. I don't know how to run. It's sad for me to say that because I can run the laser, but this little machine is driving me nuts. So I put it on I assembled it. I tried to get it figured out, and then I put it in here in the garage. And
You know,
it doesn't have more than 10 minutes runtime.
30 or more years
If
ago,
even that, what?
30 or more years ago, I was working as a draftsman in a company in California, and a guy came in with a CNC machine because we were allied with a tool and die shop, and they were just starting CNC work in there. And I asked him about that, and he says there's a 0 in the upper left-hand corner, and you always have to refer back to that 0 to get to your. That was then. I don't know if they probably changed that now, but the machine would go back, pick up the 0, then count itself over where, on its X and Y axis to get to where it needed to be. And that's all I know about it.
Do you have Facebook?
Do I what?
You have Facebook?
I have a Facebook account, yes.
What you could do, well, I don't know, you probably know this. You go on there into groups. They have different groups.
Right.
And if you go in there and then probably if you put in the what the machine is and maybe the model number, you might have a group come up. And then if you have problems, you might be able to talk online with somebody about it. Oh my
Okay.
God.
I was gonna suggest the same thing, just post a note on the main forum of Stunthangar. I got machine XYZ having trouble getting started. Does anybody have any ideas?
Yeah, I just haven't got a clue how to get this thing to run.
Well, post something on Stunthangar, and there's a wide variety of talents and backgrounds and stuff like that. At worst, you'll be no further behind than you are right now, and at best, you might find somebody could get you started.
Well, I've actually
And I think
decided
I
to
think
sell
the
them.
Facebook user group thing. I mean, he's right. There's groups for almost anything on Facebook. You might be able to find some help there too.
I appreciate that, but I've actually decided I'm going to just sell it. It's a brand new machine. I even bought a glass enclosure for it. It's a
I can help you with it if you need help. I know how
I'm
to
sorry?
run them. I know how to run them. I can help you if you want me, if you need some help.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we'll get together then. Because I had decided I would get rid of it,
You have to generate a file, a G-code file. That's what it needs.
Hey,
A
Charles?
G code file.
A G as in girl, G-code.
How the hell do I generate something like that?
So there are several different programs that can generate the G-code file.
Okay.
I think there's an add-in to Inkscape that can do it, or possibly AutoCAD. What kind of CAD do you use?
I use AutoCAD
Okay.
and Corel.
So if you export it, export the file to a DXF in AutoCAD instead of a DWG, a DXF file. You know how to do that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Save
okay.
as.
Yeah, right. So then there's a program, Open Builds Cam. You can just download it off the internet. It's free. And Open Builds Cam will accept the DXF file and then convert it to G-code.
This is already sounding too complicated. No. I'm not
That's
trying
what you
to
have to
be
do with it.
unappreciative. I'm not trying to be unappreciative, but
Walter,
yes, John.
remember when you first started with AutoCAD?
Yeah, but it took me years, John.
I know, but you did it.
You're right.
Let me welcome Lynn Burrell. Thank you, Lynn Burrell.
Hey
Yeah,
guys.
Hello,
I love
Lynn.
the attire, love the hat,
good to
love the
see you.
glasses.
Is that
Nice.
Mr. or Mrs. Burrell?
That's Mr. Oh, come
I
on.
think that's a Canadian alien.
Oh yeah.
Welcome,
Alien for
welcome,
sure.
Lynn.
Oh, you might be right.
Yeah, well, you know what? When you meet him in the flying circle next time, you gotta spank them.
This is my new flying getup
Very good.
for
Very
next
cool.
year.
Love it.
All right.
Very cool.
Isn't there a little Martian with that hat?
Well, the only thing about the hat is that I have to take it off during the overheads.
Oh,
Do you really?
Yeah, I
You
bet.
just flip the front up.
I can do that. Yeah, that works.
Oh, there's our
those lines
butterfly.
get stuck.
Here
Hey,
comes the other
Naomi,
half.
how you doing?
She's all dressed up too. She's got the blue
Yeah,
hair
very
and the
cool.
whole
I got
thing.
my
Yes, I like that.
There you go. I
Turn
see.
around, turn
Yes.
around.
She got her wings?
Yes.
Oh.
All right.
I'm ready to
Fantastic.
fly.
Yes.
Down lower so they can see your hair.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah,
Thank you.
blue
Got
hair
blue
and all.
hair. She got blue in her hair too,
You
right?
bet.
Yeah.
Blue hair.
So she's a fairy? Is that what you are?
Yeah, blue fairy.
Very cool.
You better be careful how you use that term there, buddy.
Not me.
Very, very cool. Very cool.
We're user friendly here.
And Bob Gore, thank you for coming in, Bob.
I-
Hey, Bob.
Get my message,
Hi,
Bob.
Bob.
yeah, sure. I'm glad you liked it.
Thank you very much, Bob. Appreciate it.
You're so welcome.
What a pleasant surprise.
Thank you, Tom.
Bob's eating leftovers.
Oh, and
from
he has his
the,
wife there
soiree.
too.
Your kids don't get all this stuff.
He already went trick or treating.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, right here.
Very cool. What's your wife's name again?
My wife is Janet.
Hey, Janet. How you
Hi.
doing, Janet?
Hey, Janet.
Fine. How about you guys? You look pretty good.
Thank
Very
you.
well,
Thank
thanks.
you. Yeah, we're just having some fun. We have Evil Santa. We have Tom Rammel as his flying hat. And then, of course, Lynn Burrell and myself and dreads, which I would love to have dreads if I could have some hair. It's how I probably would.
And
would wear.
sorry, I put my clothes back on.
Oh, yeah, we had the Miss. He was like a Chippendale dancer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's just to get more females in our show, you know.
Either that or get you thrown off, but
Very, very cool.
Think about that. Wear a costume.
That's why we have two females tonight. They heard Chippendales.
Maybe. Well, I've been asking the people who've gone flying, and Stuart said he went flying. He flew combat. How about you, Lynn? Did you do any flying at the Beanfield?
I didn't get to fly today. I had to work today, but hopefully I'll get to fly tomorrow.
All right. Now you
That's
didn't
the
fly.
plan.
You didn't fly after Friday night either.
I flew, let's see. Yeah, I did fly on, let's see, what was yesterday? I don't even want, yesterday was
Sunday.
Sunday. So I flew Sunday night, Sunday evening, early evening. I
What
got
did you-
4 flights in yesterday. The ringmaster's flying really well now.
This is the 576.
Yeah, it's really flying well. I have
that's-
one small issue with it, but we can talk about it in a little while.
All right. Very cool. Very, very cool.
Yeah.
And hey, Bob, how about you, Bob? Did you go do any flying, Bob Gore?
no, the weather's kind of turned crummy here. I flew a couple days ago though.
Oh, very cool. Did
Got
you
in
fly a
like 5
Vector
flights.
or what did you
Yeah,
fly?
It's a Vector, yeah.
So that
Yeah.
is that your favorite plane of your arsenal, your Vector?
I kind of favorite, but I got to say that I really enjoy the Pathfinder as well.
Cha-ching, cha-ching.
Ka-ching.
Yeah, I have a Pathfinder. I haven't put it together. I have a
Yeah, I got one of
Pathfinder.
those too.
Yeah,
Not
I
together.
know I've heard it's a good flying plane. And when I saw Bart Kaplinski at the joust, the Palmer joust fly in August, I was really impressed with the Pathfinder's corner. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
the
it was
rudder
turned.
shape, but it sure does have a beautiful corner.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
just
But I
remember
can't-
Bart could fly a really good pattern with a folding chair too. all
Yeah,
right? So
that's I
not,
know,
I'm
yeah.
not disputing Pathfinder's a good airplane, but Bart is one of my favorite flyers for sure.
Yeah, he definitely that Pathfinder had a LA 46, and I don't know what prop he had. It was a 3-bladed prop, and, yellow Pathfinder. Yeah, I think I'm not sure. Maybe someone to correct me. I think he had won the the Palmer Award. I
You
think.
know, I talked to Bart once, and I think he told me he won a special contest by flying a coffee table.
My God.
Seriously,
Yeah.
you know, they had come up with some crazy flyer, and he put a big 60 on a coffee table and put an elevator on it. Got it off the ground, flew it. Didn't fly pretty, but it flew.
You see what Bob
Sounds
White?
like Junkyard Wars. So.
Yeah,
Kinda like
Junkyard
that,
Wars,
yeah.
a new version. Make
Mhm.
something that's furniture in your house fly. We could do that.
Well, I seem to remember telling me that. Now, it's maybe a total made up lie, too. But you know me, I wouldn't lie.
Yeah, Santa wouldn't lie.
Oh, wait a minute, I'm evil Santa.
Santa might.
I'm evil Santa tonight, though.
Evil Santa might lie.
Yeah.
Mhm. Now you got me looking around the house to see what I think I could make
Oh,
fly.
here comes Mark Wise, not to be outdone.
Wait, I want to show you something.
Yeah, okay.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
No, not that.
Okay.
Let's see if I can show you.
I thought I saw a Pathfinder a second ago.
Since it came up,
Look at there.
Yeah.
that's about a
Oh,
4-year-old one that I built from a Prodac kit.
Yeah, it's got
All
the
right.
little lower tail, the smaller
Converted
tail.
it to electric, and boy, it has hundreds and hundreds of flights on it. And I put an adjustable tab on the right wingtip. But
Okay.
this is the famous one that's had 3 different tip weight boxes in it.
Right.
If
I
you remember
you
that
telling that
story.
story. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So good flying airplane. It presents well in the air. It has a different tail, I think, than the kit now has.
Yeah, the stab is lower.
Yeah, the wing is a see-through ultra coat, and the fuselage is a white ultra coat. So there's no paint on there.
Really? That's a very good job putting on the film on the fuselage. That looks very impressive.
Yeah, it
Looks
came out
good.
pretty. Yeah, you don't see the seams very much.
And even that the reverse curve there, right behind the nose ring and all that. That's pretty amazing.
So
No
it's got
paint.
some wear and tear, but it's a good airplane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've heard nothing. I've never heard any negative comment about a Pathfinder.
No, it's a good one. So
The,
just wanted to show it to you.
Oh, well, thank you. Appreciate it.
There's a fella here in Utah that built one. He's in the club up there, builds a lot with Gordon. And he came up with a beautiful fiberglass shell that goes from behind the spinner, comes in, and it comes off real easy. And all his electronics and that are in there. Close it up. It's just as clean and smart looking as can be.
Is that Brent Williams you're talking about, or
No, that's Roger.
Roger Kramer? Okay, yeah, I
Yeah.
competed once against Roger in intermediate at the Golden State Stunt Championships.
Well, then you know a good guy.
Yeah, he had a beautiful Tony. Him and
Yep.
Gordon, they came up with their Tonys,
Yep,
and one had a red tail, one had a blue tail.
yep.
So let me see, who else haven't I asked? I guess I've asked everybody if they've done any flying. How about
I got a question.
all right?
This is for Dennis. This is a Spectra question. Dennis, I tried that. I tried making lines up with that fins 40G. Well, it's not the 40G. It's the other one, the smaller, smoother braid, eight lines, whatever. And I've got 80 pound, and I tried to pull test it. And I mean, I went all the way to 40 right away, and every one of them broke at 40. Right what didn't break the knot, but it broke in the, just 3 or 4 inches from the knot. Now, I noticed that you have been, you stretch yours to a certain point, hold it, let it rest, then at another point, is that true? You
Not quite, but when I do the stretch on it, the pre-flight stretch, the target is I get up to 50% of rating. So an 80-pound line, I'd pull at 40 pounds. But I don't go straight to 40 pounds. I'll walk it up to 10, hold it a little bit, up to 20, hold it a little bit, up to 30, 30, 35, 40. When I get to 40, then I'll hold that and I'll start counting. I'll count to 100. All right, just not real fast or not real slow, but just basically you need to hold it for about a minute or so. And somebody asked me this offline here, and I have never intentionally tried. I haven't tried to break any Spectra line. I've never pull tested anything to destruction. So I don't know, where they would ultimately break or anything like that. But I figure if I can get a 50% load for a count to 100, I mean, that's a pretty stable thing. So that means on an 80-pound line, 40 pounds on the line, which means on 2 lines, it's an 80-pound pull test, which is more than anything, far more than anything I fly.
Yeah, we're never going to pull anything that hard with a control line model. I agree.
Yeah, if you do, it's probably going to pull you right on your nose. But I don't understand. Everybody seems to be breaking line at well under rating, and I don't have an answer for them. The only thing I've been thinking about is I have gotten a response before from one of the heads of Finn's Fishing. Finn's Fishing is the company that puts out all those lines. And I just want to describe what we're going through and ask them what we're doing wrong, or ask them, if we should have any different expectation or anything like that. And, we're tying the line to a fixed length on the order of, 60 feet. Is there any reason why we shouldn't be seeing 100% of rated pull? And, what are the factors that would cause that? And just ask him what he says. Just see what he says.
Yeah.
I had a thought on that. If I think some of the guys are just taking a short length of line and pulling it. And I think that's more likely to break at a lower setting than if you had a longer line, because then you have a little bit of stretch.
Well, I'll blow that one to pieces. This is a 65-foot long set of lines. I pulled the first one at 65 foot, and it broke right at 40. But I pulled it to 40 the first pull that I was doing. And that's why I'm wondering about this graduated step up that you're doing.
And I agree with Tom that the trouble with the short length, I think what's happening when we pull the line and we're trying to stretch it and everything like that, we're trying to take all the fibers and get them aligned. All right. I think in the process of tying a line, it's possible that one strand or another is tied a little shorter than the other. So if you have like 4 strands or 8 strands in a line, one or more of those might be shorter and some might be longer. So of course, the one that's the shortest is going to be the highest stress, the first one to break. And if you can pull it up and hold it, pull it up slowly, you give it a chance to equalize. And put words in Tom's mouth here, but I think what he was getting at is with like a 1 foot section, there's not a lot of space to take up to evening up in something like a 65-foot line. Pulling it all up, there's a lot of room for those fibers to get realigned and all get to work and everything like that. Tom, is that where you were going with that?
Yeah, that was my thought. Yes.
Yeah. So
why are you guys having so much trouble with lines breaking?
I don't know. I haven't had the trouble that the other folks are talking about.
I haven't had any trouble
and
either.
I haven't done anything different than what they're talking about. So I don't know Yeah, I'm at a loss really to tell them what's happening. I've had some trouble with some poorly tied knots. I tried tying some, oh, I forget which one it is. There's a couple of knots that you can tie directly to clips or directly to rings, and I had no luck with my procedure was wrong on those. So I went back to the knot that the combat guys have been using, that modified surgeon's knot. And
Yeah, that's the one I'm using.
if I do that, I don't have any issues. Then the very
Exactly.
first set that I ever made, I used the AMA approved knot, the
uni knot.
yeah, uni knot tied with a doubled line. And those have worked perfectly, you know, over what I think they're like 5 or 6 years old now. And I've had those are 65-pound lines. The first time I flew them, I had them pulled. Wes and I pulled them to 40 pounds before we flew them. And they've been pull tested at Brodak a couple of times, and that's about it. But you know, usually that's the lines they fly my ringmaster on. So admittedly, I'm not working them too hard either, but I haven't had any issues with those. They've actually faded from dark green to kind of a medium green now. And, you know, they're losing their color and stuff. And they're not losing anything else. But I don't have an answer to why people are breaking line. Exchanged some notes with Jim Hoffman here. He just got his new roll of 50-pound Max Quattro, and he's breaking it exactly the same as he broke his first roll. And he even went to try tying different knots on the possibility that his knots weren't right or something like that. And it still really didn't change his failure point. So I got no idea, you know, what to say about it. So.
I could say this, and I thank you for your answer. I appreciate it. I could say this is that uni knot, if we could get it, figure out how to get it so we can match get the lines matched in length. That is a darn good knot and easy to tie. And it cinches right up to your clip. Mm-hmm. I tried to, and I used to fish on Lake Michigan, and I used the uni knot on Lake Michigan for the silver salmon. Yeah. And it's a great knot, but you can't, it stretches until it tightens down on the loop.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I did on my very first set that I tied is on one end, I tied them directly to the line clip. And on the other end, I tied them to eyelets. All right. And I just watched what I was doing, and I got it, honest to God, I got these lines within a 1/16 of an inch purely by accident. All right.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I haven't tied steel lines any better than that. But I think the real point that I was getting to by putting eyelets at one end, that gave me a place to put in hard point adjusting clips.
Yeah.
I got no adjustment on one end, but I can adjust it on the other. Well, if you want to tie them with eyelets at both ends, you got the same system as you have with a normal set of lines. Albeit you might, your first adjustment is just going to be to make up for the difference in in the lines. You're going to have to make up for that before you get to your hard point adjustment. So,
well, I think it's going to take some practice
on
some short pieces to get them to where you come close to being that 1/16 of an inch. Sounds incredible.
Well, when I use the combat knot, I get them within a 1/16 of an inch every time.
Yeah, with the other knot, I can get them really close.
Oh yeah,
I got them dead on the other knot.
So why are we not using that knot? What's the advantage of using this other knot?
There's the advantage is the ease of tying. It really ties easy and fast. But
well, what John's saying, he's a former fisherman. He's used to tying that, can probably tie it blindfolded in his sleep. All right.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
Think about it. It's easier for him to tie that than the other. But the challenge is, can he tie it exactly where he wants it to be?
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
Okay. The answer is no.
Like Stuart and I have both been using the knot that the combat guys have been using, and we have had no trouble with it. Is that right, Stuart?
Yeah, it's been good.
Well, both lines are identical every time.
The last set I tied, and I haven't tested them or anything. Well, actually, I only tied one line. The other line hasn't been tied yet. I used the union knot on one end with a clip. I did exactly what Dennis did. I used the double surgeon knot with a larkspur or a linny loop
Yeah.
onto a ring on the other end. And now I can do just like Dennis talked about. I can use, if I can get it close enough, and I should be able to because I'm using the surgeon's knot on the one end. I should be able to get them close to dead on.
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you, yeah, exactly.
So that's what I'm looking at now.
Yeah, as long as you use the modified surgeon's knot at one end, you're okay. You'll be, or even just on one knot if you want, just so you can get that one knot to the right length.
You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right.
It's the last knot is the only one that really counts when it comes to length. You can make the first line any length you want it, but the second one, you want to get it dead on the same as the first one.
Exactly. Exactly. Well, anyway, what I've decided to do, since I don't want to put in peril any of the flyable airplanes I have now, I'm not going to be using the Spectra at Vegas. I'm going to be using cable, the regular cables. But I have a little airplane that I can put up as a, because of either the braking or whatever, but I'm going to play with it a little bit this next early season.
Yeah.
And see how, get used to it and see how the lines hold up.
Yeah, everybody gets faith at a different rate.
Hallelujah.
Yeah, everybody
That's
gets faith in the
exactly
new
right.
line at a different rate. I've never had one break, and I don't pull test them to break them. I pull test them based on what I think that airplane's ever going to pull. And if it doesn't break, that's good enough for me. I don't have to see how strong I am or if I can break the damn line.
That wasn't the issue with me, Lenny.
Oh, no, I understand that.
I was just trying to get him to 40 pounds. And I
Right,
get him
but do you
40
think
pounds.
do you think your control line model's ever going to pull 40 pounds on one line?
You ever fly a twin?
I have not.
Your twin doesn't pull 80 pounds, John. That's where Len's coming from.
I
If it
know,
pulled
but
80 pounds, you wouldn't be able to fly it.
But if it went, you're right. You're right.
And if it sails across the circle just overhead height and yanks at the end, it's going to break any line you got it on. I don't care if it's steel or Spectra.
Yeah, I agree with that too.
You're right there. So,
But I'm just saying that I haven't had any troubles. Now, I haven't used the Max Quattro. I'm just using the regular style Spectra. And on my 46 size airplanes, I'm using the 65-pound test. I'm even using it on a 51, like on the Stalker 51. No problems at all.
well, that's good to hear. Because,
And I give it a good pull, like every now and again.
I was trying to pull it to at least half the rated
Yeah,
amount.
that's okay.
And I have 80-pound test. So if I pull it to 40 and hold it, because you're supposed to pull it, stretch it, pull it to that. But I hadn't
But it did
read
break,
yet
okay.
about what Dennis was doing. Taking it to 10, stretch it, and then relaxing it, and then taking it up to 15.
I
or
don't even
20.
relax it, John. I just, as I'm pulling it up, I pause at 10, then continue to 20 and then continue on up. All right. So I don't even bother pausing it. But when I get to 40 or when I get to 50% of the rated load, then I start counting to 100.
Okay. I'll try that on the next one.
You said, did I hear you right? You had one line basically right now that you could pull test?
No, not right now. I don't have
Okay.
it where I could do that.
All right. On the lines that you made, did you break both lines? Were you pulling them one at a time or
Pulling
what?
them one at a time.
And you broke them both?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you got there, Stuart?
Oh, I just wanted to kind of introduce myself to Bob Gore. We talked earlier week, and so now I know who he is. But I just wanted to show him this. This is the muffler that I got.
That's cool.
Are you there, Bob?
Yes, I am.
Okay, this is it. So basically, I want to take this pipe, join it on, and then have it come down 90 degrees, just so you kind of have an idea what we're talking about.
You just need an elbow.
What's that?
You just need an elbow.
Yep, I need an elbow, but I can't find anything that'll fit. I was online again. I can't think of the company in California that has all the bolts and screws and everything else.
Okay,
I'm trying to find specific measurements, parts for it. You know, you just can't.
Master car, McMaster
Yeah.
car.
One thing I wanted to ask them is, you talked about the thickness to weld the
Yeah.
pipe. I can't remember exactly what we said. I got one that's 0.063 on the thickness of the wall. Is
Right.
that okay, or can you go lighter?
You can go lighter,
What could you
but
go down?
that'll weld easily, but you can go light, you know. I think that when I welded up for Mike Lunke was like 36,000, something like that.
Okay, they had some 30 something, 35, 30, 35 stuff too. So I'm gonna double check on that. And then I'll maybe send you a piece. You can experiment. So that's all I need.
You're gonna have equal diameters. The part you're welding to is the same diameter as the part you're gonna add on. Or are you gonna use a slip joint?
Well, what I was gonna do is use this piece, which slides in. This will
Yeah.
slide in. That's what I was hoping to do. So I could slide it in up to here. So when I put it on, and then have the 90 degree come right down from the edge of where the muffler is here. So
Well, if it's gonna be a slip joint, it'd be just fine brazing it. But, you know, I'll weld it for you if you want, but the slip joint would braze real well.
Well, I thought you'd just take and cut this at 45 degrees and then so it'll come down and just weld it together.
Can I make a suggestion to consider?
Yeah.
Instead of 45, make 2 cuts at 30. What is it? Half of that.
I don't think I'll have room.
22 and a half.
I don't think I'll have room to do that, because what happens is the motor or the firewall is too close.
And you'll have to go 45. Yeah.
Yeah, that's about the only way it's going to even fit. So I'm kind of real tight. So
Is there any advantage to not making it a removable elbow and just making it one piece? Because that would make it shorter. And Bob, is that a good idea, or?
Fine
Or
with
is that
me.
just too much metal in one shot?
It'd be fine with me. Either way.
or sorry, you say bending it, Dennis?
No, I'm saying instead of making it slip joint where it slides over your thing, have him weld it directly to that piece. And that would eliminate some weight, give you actually a little more room to work with, but it would take some weight off of that pipe and stuff. It's not a
Right.
removable joint, but just weld it directly to it.
You're
Don't
saying,
slip
yeah,
it
like-
on, weld it. Cut the piece in your right hand there. Just cut that off at a 45-degree angle and have him weld it directly to that in one
Oh, this
piece.
piece here?
Yeah,
Okay.
'cause
I
then
see
it
That's an idea.
reduces the amount of
Right.
metal and weight, and the mass hanging on the end of it. That's all.
That's an idea too. Yeah, I never thought of that one. I was just thinking easy to slide it on, but since we're welding it, that might actually, that will work. We could do
Yeah.
that.
Dennis is an engineer.
Good.
Well, no, worse than that, I build electric models, so.
I'm so
So,
sorry, Dennis. We stepped on your conversation, and
not at all, not at all. I was introducing a new point anyway, but,
Okay,
and,
sorry about
and
that.
in
So what do
fact,
you
with,
do with that
what Bob and Stuart were talking about is fascinating. I've always been fascinated by aluminum welding and, some of the wonderful things I've seen with that, so. Anyhow, I was just gonna show off for my, our good buddy Lenny here, show him.
Sure.
Lenny, you see what these are?
Look at there.
All right, look at that. Kevlar lead outs, or are they Spectra?
Spectra, 80-pound Spectra.
All right,
And this is a junior Nobler I built to do the electric conversion package for
All
Brodak.
right.
Never finished the airplane. I'm thinking I'm gonna
good
finish it.
job.
But one problem I had with it is I built it, of course, with steel cable lead outs
Right?
and real small tubes in the wingtips. And I managed to bend the cables, all right? Which meant that they
Yeah.
were hanging up in the tubes, all right?
Yeah,
An airplane the size of the Junior Nobler, I mean, I tried straightening it out, I got it working better, but it was never going to be right, right?
exactly.
It wasn't. So I said the heck with it, and I put the 80-pound Spectra on it, and it started, and I noticed, gee, that works really, really smooth. And I
Isn't that
noticed,
slick?
then I noticed that, geez, it's working so smooth. I find there's something else going wrong here. I've got a hitch in the control system here someplace. So I started cutting holes and things, trying to figure out where it was. Turned out it was all the way in the back, but I found it, and now I've got this thing, this Junior Nobler with a control system that works. Basically, you see that? That's the weighted, the push rods moving.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I know. I
Oh,
have the same thing in
I
my
can-
Ringmaster 576. The controls are
Yeah.
smoother than anything I've ever built. It's weird.
Yeah, and on an airplane this size and this weight, that's really important.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I'm real excited about that.
That's awesome.
Well,
Good stuff, Dennis.
I could
Now, the
see
way
you
I
doing
did it, I'll show you how I did it. I just, again, took advantage of the fact that it is a Junior Nobler, right? It has a 3-inch nylon bell crank in it.
Yeah.
And I got my double loops here, and I just basically put my loops through there.
Oh yeah, hold up higher, Dennis. We can't see it. There we go.
And then I better put my magnifiers on. I can't even see the ends of my fingers here. But, okay.
Yeah, I was curious how you connected it to the bell crank myself. So
a Lenny loop.
Betcha.
I just Lenny looped it in place.
That is nice.
Oops, where is it? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? All right. Boy. Biggest trouble I have with Spectra is tying the knots, and you get the fine line, you can't really see what you're doing and whatever.
yeah,
Our
someone
eyes ain't what
suggested
they used
using
to be.
Someone suggested using a crochet needle.
Yeah, I got one of those.
I got
too
one
that-
better. I got one better. I bought that little knot needle out of England. It's only about that long. And you can probably turn it on end and put it right back through. It works so good.
Huh.
And it constantly holds what the loop you want to have held. So when you get that loop that you got marked, that's where you want the end
Did
to
you
be.
relieve the edges of the bell crank?
Yeah,
That's good.
yeah, they're all just chamfered and everything like that. But again, this
Beautiful.
is a Junior Nobler, all right? So the line tension loads, the wearing loads, the cutting loads.
That's
And that's,
awesome.
that's 4 strands, 2 loops. So it's basically 4 strands of line going through it and everything like that. And it's not a perfect pivot or anything like that. You see that? Can you see that? But again, I'm counting on the fact that the line itself is so flexible that and durable and stuff like that. I think it's going to work out
Good
just fine.
stuff.
Yeah. And then I went in the other side and I had some little bit of tip weight in there. I had to chop out and whatever. Now I've
Very
got
cool.
another scheme that I had in mind here. This is maybe a little harder to see, but this is what I'm thinking about doing on a real airplane, if you will. Oh, come on now. Well, hard to see. What I have here, this end. Ah, boy. Can't hardly see it. This is a 440 flathead screw going through a regular eyelet.
Right.
Yeah.
And I
right.
used the uni knot like John was describing. I tied a uni knot to the normal eyelet, put a 440 screw through it. Then I'm using that with a, I threaded it into the end of the bell crank. It's a 440 flathead screw. You just thread it in close enough so it's not locking on the, so it just lets the eyelet move. And when I'm all done, I'm going to have I'll actually have a lock nut on the back side. It's threaded here with, and it'll have a, a plastic lock nut here on this side. And I think that's going to work just fine on a real stunt plane. On
Very
a full
cool.
size.
I have a question from our chat box, and I have a compliment too. Jack Fastnod says, "Nice hair, Charles." Thank you very much, Jack. But he goes on to ask, "What's the advantage of spectral lines? Sounds like a lot of trouble."
It's right now the biggest problems are unknowns. We're just starting to use it, and we're starting to see what we can get away with, what we can't get away with, what we should be doing, and stuff like that. It's all learning curves kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's all learning curve.
If we had, the only thing I've been disappointed with it when I started that thread on Stunthangar's, I really thought that there were more fishermen on Stunthangar than we've run into. And I think these guys are the ones like John was saying, he's got experience tying those knots on fishing line and stuff. That's the kind of feedback I was hoping to get, that we'd have more people, share their experience from using, braided fishing lines have been around since the 80s. And I thought that we'd be getting more feedback from that. Okay, so that's the problem side. The advantage side is the line itself is very, very strong and tough. It does not kink. You walk through it. It doesn't break. It doesn't. You land on it and tangle it all up. All you do is straighten it back out, and it's not damaged.
Great.
It weighs 1/5 as much as steel line, so you can take out, on the if you're using 018 lines, you're going to take out between 3/4 of an ounce and 1 ounce of tip weight. All right. And it means everything is just balancing out a little bit better. But the lightweight doesn't, having less weight in play doesn't hurt a thing. You heard, I believe it was Al Ferraro talking about when he was flying speed stunt, going, 120 miles an hour and trying to do fast square loops and stuff like that. He could literally feel the 018 steel lines fluttering as he was trying to apply square loop, quick control inputs. He could see he was developing a wave in the lines as he was flying it. And if he tries that with Spectra, of course, there's no inertia, there's no weight, so there's no inertia, there is no wave like that. So the control inputs are just more secure. And then the fact is that you can do a lot of the lines have extremely low, virtually no friction in them, which means when they don't rub together, they don't lock up against each other. And the old story of doing, 5 or 6 or 7 loops in a set of steel lines, and you start feeling them bind up and stuff like that. Well, the most I've heard now is I've heard of somebody doing 41 loops with a set of Spectra lines and not losing control of his airplane.
Wow.
And I guarantee that you couldn't do that with steel.
That's amazing. Wow. 41.
So there's advantages like that. And right now the disadvantages are people like me. I was replacing the Max Quattro line as a smaller diameter, more intense, compact version of Spectra. And the 50-pound test line to line is stronger than, 015 cable, and it's only 012 in diameter. And so less line size means less line drag, which is usually a payoff. And in fact, I can measure that on an electric airplane. I can measure how much less battery I use and stuff like that. I have found that. Where I think the negative may be is I think it's going to be possible to go so small that you introduce a new set of problems, possibly stretch, possibly getting rid of some of it or giving up some of the durability or something like that. I don't know that for sure, but the next time I go out, I intend to fly my 50-pound line and 80-pound line back to back on the same airplane and see if I can detect any difference in control feel or anything like that. And just one more time satisfy myself that there is no stretch going on. I'm not aware of it flying, the 50-pound line and on the airplane I'm flying it on, I'm not aware of any line stretch whatsoever. And that particular airplane has never flown on anything but Spectra. But I'm going to go fly it with 80 pounds just to see if I've been too brave. All right. And
very cool. I want to welcome Mike. I think this is Mike Lonke. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, that's me.
Hey, Mike. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it.
That's my pumpkin for the year.
Oh, very cool. Very cool. That is very neat. Wow.
It is.
Wow, you definitely need to build a model airplane. I believe you can build it with that,
Yeah.
with that skill.
Mhm.
It's a kitty cat walking away if you can't
Yeah.
tell.
Oh, I can tell. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
All right.
Pretty
By the
impressive.
way, I think John Miller had a
Oh,
had a
here we
book.
go. The knot needle, huh? I was going to ask you what was that called again?
But it's called,
knot-
I believe it's made in England, but you can get it from Master Blaster Angling Inc. And it really works good. I went and bought a crochet needle at the suggestion here on here, and it works, and it helped a whole bunch. Okay, but not. I already had this, and so I decided, as much as that worked, I would take it out. But there's the size of it. So it's very
Okay.
short. Oops.
Uh-oh.
It's very short. But what happens here is right here. See that little knurled portion?
Yeah.
You pull that down. You see that little washer up there?
Yeah.
You put your cable in there or your spectra in there, and you just let it snap back.
And it pinches the spectrum.
Pinches it, hold it. Now you use it just like a needle. You make your
Okay.
loop, you come around, come back under, up, and
Oh, wow.
don't tighten it all the way, but then wet it and then tighten it. And it's really, for me, with my fingers and hands the way they are,
Yeah.
it made it simple for me to do the double surgeon knot. You guys with good hands, you'll fly through it.
Wow.
And it was like,
where can you get it again? You said Blaster?
Master Blaster Inc.
Master Blaster Inc.
Angling Inc.
Oh,
Excuse me.
Master. Let me write this down. I might get one.
And if you
Oh,
want,
John,
huh?
it's fuzzy.
Master Blaster Angling. So did you get that from like a tackle shop then or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called the knot needle.
All right. Cool. I got it.
And you can use it to tie just about any knot you want to tie. It just holds on to it for you in ways that you can't do it with your hands. You got a monkey on your back there, Mike.
Let me make him big. Mike, I had to mute you for a second. That's why I muted you.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Sam, it's good to see you, Sam.
Sam, you need to eat a little bit more, Sam. You've lost a lot of weight last time I seen you.
Your dad's got to feed you a little bit more.
Yeah.
We just got back from trick or treating in the neighborhood, so
That's cool.
Very cool. Yeah. My
cool.
kids are
Good
out trick or
dad.
treating too.
go ahead and
Hey,
go ahead and
thanks-
get back to model airplanes. I just thought I'd bring a little levity
Sure,
with my.
let's have some fun. Absolutely.
But
That's cool.
Hey, thanks
let's
for
get
coming
back
in, Mike.
to
I appreciate it.
let's get back to airplanes.
Mike,
I
you
have a
need to
question.
take a picture like that and put it on your airplanes.
That's an idea.
Scare tactic on his combat,
Charles,
My
you want the you want the number, the email for Master
Oh, sure.
Blaster?
Yes. I'm ready. Go ahead.
Okay. The knotneedle.com. That's all one word and small letters. The knotneedle.com.
Knotneedle.com. Thank you.
Hey, I was listening earlier. Are we worried about the knots on tying spectra lines failing or something? Or
I'm not worried about the knots. It's that I tied the knots and I've got 80-pound tests and they're breaking at 40 pounds.
so we're worried about the material itself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we talked about this earlier. I had some bad stuff that was, we did this and they broke too easy and sent it back. And then I got some other stuff and it passed. So I don't know where we're at with that, Dennis,
Yeah, I
Um,
don't know. Jim Hoffman got his replacement material and it behaves exactly the same as the material he sent back. And I'm just at a loss to explain it.
I am
How
too.
and why, or I got no ideas. So
I am too, because 15 years, over 15 years, we've been using it in combat and never had an issue. And now it seems like everybody's on board trying to use it, and people are getting a lot of failures, and other people aren't. I don't understand it. I
Well,
really.
I
well, the only
noticed,
thing that in combat, you guys have always been using the 100-pound Power Pro original.
Correct.
And even when you pull test and everything like that, I doubt if anybody is pulling it more than 50, maybe 60 pounds. I mean, it's just
No,
really hard to pull a line that hard.
we got to pull 35. 35.
No, I mean, when you like stretch test them and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So, and I think what we're doing here with the stunt guys, we're trying to use I was just talking about, trying to use 50-pound max quattro, which has served me well. I flew with it all season long. But that's quite a bit smaller, and it is possible. It should be physically possible for me to break a 50-pound line. All right. And I'd have a very hard time breaking a 100-pound line, but a 50-pound line wouldn't be that hard. And I'm just thinking that maybe the 100-pound line would have broke at, maybe 60 or 70 pounds or something like that. I don't know if anybody actually really, tested to destruction. I'd have to go back to Phil Cartier did a lot of really good stuff on that.
Yeah.
And
the guy
again,
that-
the 100-pound line, you were reusing that to replace 55-pound steel line,
Exactly.
So it's like,
Exactly.
so it's like you guys were so far, past the margins and everything like that. There was absolutely no concern. And I think maybe part of it is we're trying to get a little too aggressive, but again, it doesn't explain why a 50-pound line breaks at 25.
No.
Or, 40 or 80-pound line breaks at 40 or something like that.
It doesn't. And I had 65 pound that I took in my hand and went and broke it like that. And
yeah,
it didn't
and
make
then you
sense.
got replacement that doesn't.
I had 2 spools of 65 pound line that I went and just broke them like that. And then I got a replacement and I couldn't break it. Could not break it. So I trust that. I trust that spool.
Maybe there's some counterfeit line out there.
there is the Chinese line you want to stay away from.
Hey guys, I have a question from the chat box regarding the line. This is from John Shukalak. He says, "What size fishing line would you use for lead outs for a full size stunt ship?"
100-pound at least. 100-pound.
Well, like 027 cable is good for something like 120 pounds, right?
Yeah.
So my swag would be, I'd probably want to use something about that size for a full size stunt plane. You can get Power Pro or Wind Tamer in, I think, 150-pound. I think Power Pro, I think you can get up to 200, something like that. And it's still, quite reasonable in size and diameter and stuff like that. So I would probably be looking at something like that. The other thing I would do is if I was using Spectra lead outs on a serious airplane, I would also have access hatches to be able to inspect it and or replace it, as necessary. And again, the combat guys have been flying airplanes with their lines. They run them right through to, exposed controls. They run them right through a lead out guide and attach them directly to the bell crank. And they use them for a couple of years at a time and replace them out of boredom, usually not out of because of failure.
Well, we could always see them too, because they're on exposed bell cranks. And the biggest thing of course, this is kicking a dead horse. We've said this many times. our biggest thing was we saw the wear through the lead out guide on the wingtip was where the wear was
Mm-hmm.
through the lead out guide.
Why is that? Was it that they're using metal tubes, or it's
No.
just not holding up?
No, we would have a plywood lead out guide, you know, with a nice hole in it, rounded and chamfered and epoxied. But that's where the wear is, you know, because we put two lines through the same hole, right? And just after a season, you could see they would start to wear in that point at the lead out guide. And then what we always did was just after a season, flip the lines around, and then you get another season out of them. But if they're rubbing up against something, they are going to wear. There's going to be friction. There's going to be wear. I mean, they're not lifetime lines for lead outs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you're putting them in a stunt plane and running them through lead out guides, especially if you got brass eyelets or tubes that they're running through, they're going to wear. There's going to be friction there, you know? So
I would think that running them through either like a sliding nylon block, or some of the guys are, with the individual tubes use like Teflon tubes at the end.
That would be better.
I think that we're back to like perpetual motion machine again. And
that would be better, Dennis. I agree. 100%. 100%.
Hey, John
By the
Miller has
way,
a question, you guys. Just so you know, John Miller's waiting.
Listen, I just had a thought. I'm wondering if the rating that's on the line from the companies is a rating for a certain amount of time, because fish, when you're fighting fish, it's a pulsating thing, depending on the strength of the fish and all that. So you might pull the advertised amount, but it's only for a microsecond, and then it lightens up again. And I'm wondering if the best that we can, because we're pulling and sustaining it, and if the best we can get is 50%, then that's might well be more than enough, because I suspect that our pulls vary in our stunt pattern and in our flight attitudes, and so it's not as radical as fighting a fish, but it's still doing some variation. That might be why we're breaking it about approximately right around 50% of the rated amount. Any thoughts on that, Dennis?
I was going to say, on the Finn's fishing site, on the 40G line, the small line that they sell, they had a table on there that was, I thought, really interesting, in that they had the rated strength of the line, and then they had another column for the actual breaking strength of the line. And it was numbers like, I think the 45-pound line, they said actually broke at 60 pounds. The 85-pound line broke at like 100, or, things like that. But they were rated under their peak loading. All right. And then even then, a sustained, fighting a fish sustained on, on a single line and stuff like that. Yeah, the tension's going to go up and down, but it's going to be pretty strong. You figure a stunt plane, a normal stunt, even a big airplane, even a big twin is probably pulling 10 or 12 pounds, which is 6 pounds per line. All right. And that should be a pretty good margin. And of course, if you start jerking around on controls or getting, lightening, or losing tension, getting it back quickly and stuff, you might get some point stresses there. But I don't think that breaking the line, I'm less scared of breaking spectral lines in flight. I just have no idea how to answer the why can't I achieve something like the rated strength when I just pull it to destruction. And that's what bugs me. I don't have an answer for the guys who were doing that. So, but I did, by the way, I looked up knot needle at our friends at Amazon, and they have it in singles, doubles, whatever else. They got several different variations on there. So if you have any trouble with John's thing, just look up Not Needle on Amazon
Oh, thank you.
and
Thank
you
you,
are
Dennis.
good to go.
Let me catch up
Excellent.
on the chat box. I have a couple comments. Gerald Wimmer says, hello, Charles, and everyone on Stunthangar, and happy Halloween. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you for coming in. And then Old Control Line Pilot, aka Bob Whitley up in Canada, he says, happy Halloween, everyone. And then Gerald Wimmer goes on to say, steel leadouts, kink, rust. I like the idea of Kevlar leadouts. We like that. And then Jack Fastnot says, just ordered one, $20 with tax and shipping from Colorado. So we're all caught up on the
Need a
chat
Not
box.
Needle. Yeah.
Here's a dumb question. Why aren't you guys using metal leadouts anymore?
Is Lenny still here?
I'm still
Len's
here.
down
Yeah,
the bottom.
I'm here. I'm here.
Tell him why you like your Kevlar leadouts.
They're less than half the weight, and they're 250-pound test.
And they're smooth.
And they're smooth. They're twice as smooth as steel leadouts. And yeah, I can't see anything wrong with them. And they wrap I wrap them exactly the way that I wrap a regular set of leadouts, with copper wire, and then I just run a bit of CA over it, just to make sure that not so much that I'm afraid that it'll ever come apart, but it's just so that the copper wire can't unwind.
Then why are they breaking?
Those aren't
Well, the
breaking.
Kevlar isn't breaking. You asked about leadouts. I'm not using Spectra. I'm using Kevlar for leadouts.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm using.
I think Dennis did use Spectra, right?
He
Dennis?
used Spectra on his little airplane there. Yes, he did.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be right
And
back,
I would,
you guys.
I would use Spectra on a big airplane over Kevlar, because Spectra is replacing Kevlar in applications like cut-proof gloves for chefs, bulletproof vests. It actually has more abrasion resistance than Kevlar does. So, but
Okay.
what Len has lined up for his leadouts is what, 200-pound or whatever like that.
250-pound. Yeah.
No,
I've never tried to lift
something. Yeah, I was just going to say that those leadouts are going to outlive that airplane. All right, and Lenny builds airplanes for a long time, and those leadouts are going to be a lifetime set, I'm sure. So
Well, that's why I put them in it. I mean, it's in that Ringmaster, and I'm going to fly the living daylights out of that Ringmaster. It'll probably have 500 flights on it by the end of next summer. And if they're still good, I'll put them in anything. I won't even think about it.
I just thought I'd ask,
Yeah, no, it's all good.
But Walter, it is, again, that's very much the pioneer thing, is that nobody's actually tried it. And of course, the next step too is trying to put rebuild some of the cable handles and stuff like that with the Kevlar line, because there's absolutely no bending resistance in it. And it would be, you wouldn't even know you had a cable. The only thing that putting it in a cable application in the handle would mean that you could get back to easy, presume, well, if you need the total package there for adjustment and stuff, but you could get back to where you wouldn't even need special line clips or anything like that, for like you do with a hard point handle. So.
Okay.
But it would fly like
Thank
a hard point handle.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Mike. Oh, Mikey, what are you going to cover that with? Like polyspan, or what are you going to cover that thing with?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is my stand-in, man. I'm just hanging out and listening, man.
He needs a cigarette.
I think he's going to cover them with linen, or
Oh, I see.
yeah, linen
Oil
wrap,
paper.
maybe an ace bandage,
I'm just listening to the conversation, man, and this is my stand-in for now.
Hey, Mikey, see back there?
Yeah.
You know what that is?
That's the twin I'm going to fly in Vegas on Thursday or Friday, I think.
Yeah, that's all repaired. I re-engineered the landing gear. It should hold just fine.
All right.
now I'm getting ready. Tomorrow I'll mount the engines back in it, the tanks and all of that, and it'll be ready.
All right. Well, it's Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday, 3 days, man. 72 hours. We'll be in Vegas, brother.
That's right. I'm heading out here early in the morning on Thursday.
Yeah. I'll be there Thursday at noon. I'll be at the field on Thursday at noon.
Cool.
You gonna bring your coach?
My coach. Who's my
One
coach?
sitting next to you.
That guy.
Oh, this guy?
Yeah.
This guy. Hey, you know what I'm going to do with this guy? He's out of here, man.
Halloween's over.
Halloween's over. We're done. We had our trick-or-treaters for the
You
night.
know what?
I got the Axioma sitting right there, and the box is there. I'm taking it apart tonight, packing it up. Got the batteries all in storage charge for the trip. Oh, that's what I'm working on next.
I got an idea. I think what I'm going to do, thanks to you, Mike, I just had an idea. I think I'm going to take one of my skeletons like that out to the field, and it can be the judge.
The judge. There you go.
We put them up at on the upwind side of the circle. That way you always know where upwind is and where the judges sit. And then you put the little put the clipboard in his hand, and he sits there, and he's a judge.
Actually,
have you got a top hat for him?
That might not be a bad idea, Len, because if you got a couple of skellies sitting there with some clipboards,
yeah,
it might fly better when you're practicing.
You're damn right. And plus, you're going to get used to doing your stuff exactly hitting it where the judges are when you start your wing over too.
There you go.
No
Gives
bones
a
about
new
it, man.
meaning to the term coffin corner.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's a coffin corner, John?
That's the second corner in the outside square.
Strike or something right at 4.
That's my favorite. The outside squares are my favorite maneuver.
Well, you first one, you're at 45 degrees. Your first turn is straight down.
So, yeah.
And that next corner, number 2, is the coffin corner.
Okay. Second corner on the outside square.
Yeah, you either make it or you're in the coffin.
Make it or break it.
I like it. My two favorite maneuvers are the reverse wing over and the outside square. I like them because you're diving straight to the dirt, and you got to have a nice clean.
Every ex-combat flyer I know loves to dive straight at the ground.
Those are my two favorite maneuvers, man, and I strive to do those well.
Yep.
As long as you have as long as you have an airplane that makes that turn nicely, it should be never a problem.
Right. I don't always do them well. Sometimes you chicken out and you do them too high, and you got the little bobble or whatever. But when you kill one, man, it feels good. When you kill that reverse wing over, or you kill that outside square and hit that bottom, man,
that's a whole mood, doesn't it?
Feels good. Feels
That's
good.
the whole deal with having the airplane trimmed exactly right, so that when you hit that corner, it does that and doesn't do the bubba or the oh shit thing,
Yeah. Sam and I were fortunate this weekend. Dave Morris, he's an Iowa guy that flies combat and stunt. He's pretty well known in the Midwest as a combat and stunt guy. His son and daughter-in-law moved to Nashville a year ago, and Dave has been making trips to Nashville. But just this last weekend, Saturday, he had some free time on Saturday, and he looked us up, and we took Dave out to the field, and we flew some speed limit combat matches with him, and we flew a little stunt, and he flew one of Sam's hot F-2D airplanes. So that was pretty cool that we had basically a guy we never fly with that rolled into our field and spent a half a day flying with us. So that was pretty cool.
That is.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
I gotta go. We'll see you guys later.
All right, Stuart, thank you for coming in.
See you
Morning.
Saturday
Go,
morning.
Stuart. Yeah.
I have a like from Philip Bailey. Thank you, Philip. Appreciate that. And I might have missed it, but Philip Bailey says, no bones about it. Boo, hiss.
No bones about it.
Tell Philip I
Is he
said thank you.
ghosting us tonight?
You just did, Dennis.
Yeah.
Well, can I finish up, Charles? The moral of my story was Dave is a guy we only met 1 or 2 times at a contest here or there, but he was coming through town and he said, "Hey, Mike, can we hook up and fly together?" And I said, "Yeah, tell me when you're going to be here. We'll have stuff to fly." And he did, and he was, and we went, and we did. So always present that on your social media pages if you're there, or on Stunthangar. Always tell people where you live and invite people to fly in your hometown. When they come to your hometown, say, "Hey, if you can come and spare a few hours, come to my place. I'll take you out and fly." And that's what we did on Saturday with Dave, and it was fun. So
Yeah, that is cool. I had a request from Mike Haverly. He came down from, I think, Canada, I think, or Washington. I'm not sure where he lives. You know where he lives, Bob? Mike Haverly? You're muted, Bob. I'm sorry. Can't hear you. Anyways, he asked me, he called me. He goes, "Hey, Charles, I'm going to be in your area. Can we go flying?" I said, sure, Mike. That'd be great. And he gave me a day or so notice, and we hooked up at the field. He wanted to fly his new Barnstormer before he went to VSC. He was making his way down to VSC, and he came through which worked out great for me because, I was able to give him a gallon of fuel as I was flying to VSC, and that worked out perfect. So, was that Mike Haverly? Is that right, Bob?
Yeah, Mike Haverly. I forget what town he's on, but he's on the West Coast in Washington State.
Okay,
Yeah,
Washington.
I thought he was Seattle area, but I'm not
Thought he was
absolutely certain.
Squeal.
Yeah, Barnstormer, by the way, was a real nice piece of work, wasn't it? So
Yes, very nice. Well, he's quite a craftsman, no doubt about it.
yeah, but he really made that. It's got to be one of the prettiest Barnstormers ever. I mean, he just really accentuated the front end. Put a spinner front end like the kit box used to show and stuff like that. It was really a beautiful airplane.
Yeah. And let me
Flies well,
welcome Ruben and Steven, the co-CDs of the Las Vegas Stunt Challenge.
Hey,
Hey, Charles, before we get going on that, I want to say, I think Mark would agree with this, that everyone should put themselves out there either on social media or on Stunthangar as being welcoming to someone who's going to be passing through town or visiting or showing up or might be there for a day or two. And if you can try to hook up with them and take them to your field and fly with them, you absolutely should. 100%.
That's
And
a
that-
great idea, Mike. I think.
Well said, Mike. Well said.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
how
always
this
saying-
deal with Dave worked out. He just happened to be in town because his kid lives here and he had a couple hours of free time. We took him out flying and it was awesome. So always put yourself out there on all the forums or any social media that you're on that you fly, and just connect with as many people as you can and be friends with and say, "Hey, I live here. If you're going to be here, I'll take you flying. Look me up. Message me. Here's my phone number. Here's my email address. Let's get together while you're in town if you have time."
Well, let's go ahead and extend that invitation now. Hey, if you're ever in Escondido, San Diego, you're passing through, reach out to me. Maybe you can DM me on Stunthangar for sure. You can go to my YouTube channel, Flying Control Line Stunt, and I'll take you to my flying field. Anybody next has a?
Yeah.
Go ahead, John.
if you're ever in the Great Basin area desert of central Utah, where the antelopes still run free, stop by. We'll find a place.
That's good stuff.
Anybody else? How about you, Mark? Anyone welcome to
Charles,
Delaware?
Charles, I'm going to get out to San Diego one of these days. My sister lives out there. And I'd love to see, as long as you'll take your hair off.
Oh, jeez.
No problem. No
Okay.
problem.
We got a couple.
Now, you're in
Indians around
Delaware,
here we
so
could send over.
are you welcoming out there in Delaware as well?
Absolutely. The guys I fly with are basically Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Maryland, and Delaware.
Don't you go to Flushing Meadows on occasion?
I was up there judging about a month ago.
Okay.
Yeah, great place.
You probably met one of my childhood friends, a guy named Mike Lavelle.
So
He
we'll be back
actually
up there.
came in beginner.
Yeah,
He flew beginner, third place, I think, or second place.
is that right?
I'm not sure, but he said he was there.
By the way, Walter, a plug for you. I built your, and the name just Sakatumi.
Okay.
And it may be the best profile I've ever flown.
Yeah, John did the original CAD drawings on
Yep.
it.
And the wood was beautiful, and someone saw me fly it, and they asked me for it, and then reluctantly I sold. So I may have to get another one, but it's a terrific airplane.
You got to send me pictures of it if you have them.
Okay.
I'm thinking of restarting my website.
Oh, that'd be great.
Well, I've already put up on there the Laser 200.
Oh.
I put up a thing that I'm gonna coming soon, rib sets for that, and I also marked for the Predator rib sets and plans, but I haven't done anything yet. I basically just ordered 130 sheets of wood just for ribs, just to start.
I was fortunate enough to pick up a 660 stiletto kit from you.
Okay.
And it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful kit, and I'm trying to get it done this winter.
I wish I could have got you that Colossus, man.
Ah, yeah.
The guy just wouldn't let it go.
Let me catch up on a chat because this is kind of what I was asking. Here's Gerald Wimmer saying, anyone visiting Auckland, New Zealand, we can get you flying a control line model.
I'd love to. Oh, and I love
All
it.
right.
Yeah.
And anybody else is welcoming or open? All right, Bob, go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, well, if you guys happen to be traveling through Washington State, especially on the east side over here, I'm in the Tri-Cities, and I'd be happy to take anybody out and fly.
No, that's great.
Awesome.
Hey, Walter.
Yes, sir.
I took second at King Orange in profile last week with a Sakatumi.
Oh, very cool. I hear nothing but good things about that plane.
Yep.
Everybody tells me it's like their go-to airplane.
Where is it?
I just wish that I was able to fly again.
It's right
It's very
there.
nice.
I
Man,
don't know,
I like-
Walter. It looks like you're getting down in fighting trim again. You're gonna keep it up, man. Get you flying,
Yeah.
test flying your own stuff here. So
Very good.
There it is.
We can see it.
yeah.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you, Mike.
Easy to tell that wing, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful wing, and it should not be covered up
I agree with you.
with solid covers. Mine is done in translucent red ultra coat,
Yep.
see-through transparent ultra coat red. It's beautiful to see the construction of the wing.
Yep.
Let me interrupt for a second. I got one more comment here. John Lytle, he says, Charles, Mike Haverly lives in Kent, Washington. Thank you, John. And anybody else out there in the chat, if you want to extend a welcome to anybody who visits your city or town, you'll take them flying, go ahead and put it in the chat box and I'll read it out loud. And I have a question for Ruben and Stephen. How's things going with you guys with the contest coming up in 3 days?
Everything for the contest is all ready to go and set up and prepared. Today I went out there and started cutting the grass again for the second cut and got that all prepared. So circle 1 I already got completed. Tomorrow I'm going to go out there and complete circle 2 and get that all set up and ready to go. I'll be out there basically all week. Wednesday I'm going to be setting up all the perimeters on the field as far as the boundaries that are needed and cone that all off. And then Thursday everything's ready to go, ready for practice. But everything's looking really good so far.
Excellent.
I have a question for you guys. Is it possible to register online for the contest?
The application was on Facebook, and it's made that you can fill it out and just send it, just fill it out right on Facebook and just send it back to me, or any email to me. Just tell me that you're coming. The money is not necessary till you show up at the contest. Just let me know you're coming, because the paperwork that you have to do to prepare a contest is easier to be done before the contest than at the contest.
Good enough.
Looking forward to it, man.
It's easier to have the pre-registration forms.
Yeah. You don't have to waste all that time in the morning doing paperwork.
So on Facebook, how do we find it on Facebook? Not necessarily me, but those of us who want to do it online, how can we assist you? Where to go on Facebook?
There's multiple places to find it on. Actually, if you went on the Las Vegas Circle Burners,
Yeah, that would do it.
if you went right on there, the application's right there.
Yeah, just Google Las Vegas Circle Brothers and you'll find the application there too. Or tubeman5 at AOL.com. Tubeman5, TUBEMAN 5 at AOL.com. Will work just good.
This is good. You'll find the application, just fill it out and send it in.
And if you don't have an application, just let me know what you want to apply. We'll fill out the application when you get here.
Mark, as Pampa president, I think it behooves you to attend a contest on the West Coast. I think you could dip into the treasury of Pampa to attend this contest.
Huh?
I would love to. I really would.
And we would love to have you there.
Well, I'll tell you, Mike opened me up to something. I just want to bounce off you guys. Next year, if everything goes right, we're going to have 2 or 3 regional Pampa championships, a new event. Okay. And one will be in the Southeast. And what I'm looking for is not to create a new contest, not to create all the problems and work that you have to do, but to find existing events, maybe combining a couple and making these things really top shelf events. And we need one in the West. And it sounds like you're building a very popular contest.
Thank you.
I cannot get out this year. But I will do my best to get out there. So that's what we're trying to do.
It is a very popular contest. It has become a very popular contest and a very big, highly competitive contest, as this year is going to be its highest competitive year that we've had yet.
Okay.
The competition is at its highest level, and the amount of entries that we do have.
How many entrants do you expect to have?
Right now, I have 37 entries. And altogether, paid entries with that, it brings it, with other people flying other events, I'm over 50 entries altogether.
I think you're going to have some people show up to sign up, Thursday.
You'll have your last minute guys signing up yet on the day of the events that are going to come in yet. But I already have 17 people signed up into expert alone. There's 10 people in advanced, which is 27 alone to that point. And then I have 14 in classic, and we have profile and all time, which is 11 and 11. So it's becoming a high caliber contest in the radio.
That's awesome. Those are big numbers, man. Those are big numbers for a local contest, you know?
Yep.
And we got really good judges coming in too. Pete Peterson's coming in to judge. Chris Cox is going to be a judge. Eric Rule.
Leroy Black.
Joan Cox is going to judge events with Jim Hoffman. So we got some good judges, and the good part about it is none of the judges will be flying the day of their judging. So they're all judges that are not flying that day.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
Pete
good.
Peterson knows all my mistakes.
And our help that we have on the pit bosses and the pool testing is exceptionally well this year. We don't think we're going to have any delays to get those people flying.
The way it's set up, we have that many entries, so we're gonna run an early on-time pilots meeting, and right after that pilots meeting, get the pilots up and right away up and flying to get the flights in because of the amount of flights we have to put in throughout each day.
Hey guys, how many circles can you put out at your site?
The runway is 100 feet long, 100 feet wide, and 500 feet long. That's an RC runway. The circles do not complete asphalt. The circles are 3/4 of asphalt, and there's 1/4 of grass. That's what Steve was cutting today, the 1/4 of grass. So it's cut down to golf course low. But 3/4 of asphalt is more than enough to take off and spot land on. But there's 2 circles out there, and that's on the RC runway. But all year round, we have a grass circle, and that's all we have.
Okay.
For flying on.
Okay. Thanks.
We are working with the county to try and to expand things and have different alterations made on the site. But the county, it's the county park, and they're trying to work out their funds to do that. Until they do, that's what we're working with, and I'm making the best of it to make it a perfect suitable site.
I got it. Thanks.
We do permit the field for 4 days at $70 a day, which is a 50% discount. They normally want $140 a day, but because we're a nonprofit organization, I was registered with the state of Nevada, we get a 50% discount on the park rental. So it's $280 for 4 days, which is what they charge. But they don't do nothing for the $280. They don't even come out and cut the grass.
Yeah.
They open the gate for you, right?
Open the gate? No, the gate, it's always open. You can get in there, sure.
It was just a
Yeah.
little sarcasm.
Oh yeah, they open the gate for you. It's like, yeah, sure, you could use it. It's our part, but we don't do squat for you.
No, it's a great flying site. It's a great flying site, man. And the circles are good. It's like you said, it's mostly asphalt. There's a little bit of grass, but if you time your landing, you won't have to land on the grass. You'll put it on the asphalt. Or if you're like Howard and you got a cutoff loop in your electric airplane, you do your loop and then you put it right where you want to. So, but it's not a big deal.
Yeah, landing is
But
an
that
issue.
grass
It
is
is a
down
good
to about
site.
a half-inch right now.
Hey, it's a premier control line event, and if you have to deal with 70 degrees of grass versus the rest on asphalt, it's not a big deal. It's really not. It's a great site.
Turn that
You got
around.
choice,
So,
grass or
Stephen
pavement.
Rubin will help case with the county.
I don't see it to be a problem with the grass because I've seen a lot of
County or not, but you know, your national or a regional event. And we think we got a site that's awfully close. We think if we could upgrade it just a little bit, it would be good.
Yeah. And the
I don't know.
food's-
I don't know if you
food's-
can, if that helps your argument or not, because, you know, like I'm with Mike. If, you know, the site the way it is, I think is a darn good site for a major,
Oh,
event,
it
you know,
sounds
for a
great.
regional type event.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I wish
And
I
the
was
food is
flying.
good.
Yeah,
I
the
think
food
the
was
way
good
it's
too.
a very good site.
It's a great site, and it's Las Vegas, man. Come on, people.
Lost wages.
It's
That's great.
Las Vegas, man. There's lots of other stuff to do there besides fly toy airplanes on strings, man. You know,
Of the grass.
Even
is
if
that
there
there's
was
a lot of people
the,
that don't know how to land on asphalt. They bounce. When you land on the grass, you have an option. You won't
Yeah.
bounce.
yeah.
You have the option if you want to land on grass. So, but I've seen a lot of the other local events that have gone on throughout the year, and they only have a full grass surface
Yeah.
Mhm.
on that. They're not flying on any asphalt at all to that point. So, and this is all new. This was all just put in. So it's all fresh asphalt that we're flying on as well.
We're both excited about the event.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah,
cool.
let's see. Last year they had just finished the sites and they gave everybody a little pan to catch their overflow from their fuel tanks. And they even gave me a little pan to catch the overflow of electrons when I went to plug my airplane in. So
That's nice.
So it wouldn't put any
I don't
static
believe
charge
you-
in the pavement there, but
Well, you can plug in where the Teslas do.
They were concerned about the fuel on the asphalt because it was just freshly paved, and they worked on
Right.
that for about over 10 to 12 years to get that pavement put down there and have that site redone. And they just got it done, so everybody's a little on edge to making sure to keep it as nice and pristine as possible, which I respect. This year, I don't have to worry about the pans. Scooter Boy's not here anymore. He moved.
Scooter Boy. Oh my God, Scooter Boy. He was crazy, man. That guy was nuts.
Yeah, no kidding. He moved and I clapped and I told him have a nice trip to buy and it was nice knowing you and we appreciate all your efforts of being around. You acted like a good sport and was happy to see him leave. But in the same respect, I got something different this year. I got roofing tarp paper that I cut up and I made squares that I'm gonna make all set up on the pit area, and everybody's gonna have a nice square section where they're gonna actually have their plane on the pit. So I'm not gonna have to worry about any type of fuel drippings, and that's gonna stay there permanent throughout the event.
Very cool.
So we don't have to worry about these tin pans. Those tin pans, that was a quick fix, but a nuisance at the same time. This will not be a nuisance because it's going to be something that's going to stay there throughout the whole course of the event to show the pay areas.
Very cool.
Just
I'm
working
just
out.
sorry I'm not gonna make, I can't make it.
Yep. I'm gonna miss you, Dennis.
Mhm. Had a good time last year and I'm sorry I'm gonna miss it, so.
Well, next year, hopefully.
We're going to miss you, Dennis. We're definitely going to miss you this year.
Hopefully next year you'll be out there, Dennis.
Mhm. Hope so.
Yeah.
Put it on your calendar.
That's it. I'll have to, let's see, I have to get my shot so I can hang out with Mike at night and,
You don't need a shot, man.
geez,
The
I don't know.
question is, should the date be pushed up any, or is the date okay?
What'd you say, Ruben?
Should the date be pushed up into October, or is that date okay?
I think you're fine.
No, keep it in November. Because I'll tell you what, third week of October is Huntersville, which is also Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And then the next weekend is King Orange. And then there's a break before Las Vegas. No, keep it in November.
Okay.
If you push it back into October, you're going to compete with King Orange and you're going to compete with Huntersville.
Right.
Don't push it back. Keep it in November.
Yeah, don't move it. Don't move it. I think,
Is the King Orange permanent that date?
It has been the last 4 years anyway.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah.
always been in November. Our event has always taken place in November. I
Yeah.
think one way is happy to keep it in
No,
November.
I would say keep it in the first weekend in November because if you push it into October, you're going to compete with 3 other big events:
Why do I
Baton
do that?
Rouge, Huntersville, and King Orange.
And I
That
don't know
makes
what's
sense,
going on
man.
in September if it would conflict with others in September.
And it's nice because last weekend was King Orange that we just got back from. Now we're home this weekend, but next weekend I'm going to Vegas. If Vegas was right after King Orange, so Huntersville, King Orange, then Vegas, 3 weekends in a row.
The temperature predicted is.
It'd be too much
65
traveling.
It's a lot. Well, and it's a lot of money too, man. Close together, close together. That's the thing with contests. Everybody loves contests. Everybody wants to go to a contest. But if you got them weekend after weekend after weekend, you got to consider your travel, your hotel, and your time away from your family. It doesn't fly, right?
Mhm.
Right.
So you don't want to jam them up, man. It's nice to have at least for me, King Orange was last weekend. I'm home this weekend. I can sell her on going to Vegas 2 weeks after the last contest. I can't go. I'm going to contest this weekend and next weekend and the next weekend.
Oh, come on. She's happy. She gets you out of the house and has you for everything.
He goes to Vegas, right?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Come on over, we're having our girly parties and everything.
Yeah.
What's the weather forecast for the weekend?
65 to 70 degrees.
Any rain or
Outstanding.
winds?
Mike,
Mile winds 5 miles, 5 to 7 miles.
The only reason I asked is I live 400 miles north or 300 miles north of you, and we're gonna have high winds on Friday.
John,
So
We're not.
John, they're bringing me out there so I can block the winds.
oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
No, we're not. It's the forecast is not showing anything of that of high winds. At some point, I think it was 5 to 7 to 9 miles for the highest, and then back down to 7.
Oh, it sounds beautiful. I can't wait.
They changed
What are you gonna say, Tom?
I was gonna say, you just get that skeleton and use that as your stand-in while you're gone.
That would be funny as hell to have him out there at the circle with the handle, just to wait and watch people.
I might bring him. Maybe I gotta bring, or maybe I'll just bring this. Maybe I'll just
There you
like
Uh,
go. Your
I'll
new
put
hand-
that on my handle.
Yeah, so tomorrow we'll go back out there to the field and continue on the field preparation, making sure everything's pristine and ready for the event.
It's gonna be good to see you there too, Denny. Bye,
I'm gonna say
Walter.
good night.
You out here, Walter?
Good seeing you, buddy.
Good night. Thanks for coming in, Walter.
Good seeing you, Walter.
Safe travels, everyone.
Thank you very much. We're going to be, I'm still going to I'm sure I'm going to still find a way to do the broadcast Friday night as well. So I'm not sure how the hotel Wi-Fi work out or not.
Yes.
Are we still live streaming right now,
We're
Charles?
still live streaming for another 9
Oh.
minutes.
Okay.
They're gonna give when you go to the hotel and you go to the check-in, they're gonna give you a book and a pamphlet with everything, and it'll also have all the information of the Wi-Fi on there and how to hook up onto it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, Charles, I got a hotspot on my phone. We could do it from Fremont Street on Friday night. You and
Oh,
me.
that's-
As long as you wear that wig, you gotta wear that wig.
I
You
understand.
gotta on Fremont Street and host a live show. Because
Yeah,
as soon as we start, all we gotta do is start it. Then we can mute ourselves and let everybody else talk.
Yeah.
That'll be a
So-
real entertaining.
So the show will be going on anyway, so that's why I want you guys know that.
Yeah.
Pretty
And,
much we upgraded the light show too on the ceiling.
the only challenge I have is I do the show with 3 monitors. So
You don't need them. We need a phone. We need a phone. That's it.
so it might not be the same quality and level that maybe people come to expect. So just to give
We'll
you a
just
heads
have
up,
to put up with it for a
I
night.
just have to put up with a hopefully
Pathetic show, yeah.
hopefully it comes out all right. But normally I have 3 monitors. That's how I'm. And sometimes I'm slow because I have the trackball. That's how I get around with the trackball. And but I do my best. But it's gonna be less than my standard.
Charles, you're allowed to be cut a little bit of slack with the show when you're at a contest.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Especially in
appreciate
Las
that.
Look what we do for Mike when he's at a contest.
Yeah. Dude, if you're at a contest and you're trying to host a show, you just start it and let everybody do their thing. And
Just let it ride.
yeah, let it ride. You'll be fine.
It might just be in the gallery the whole time.
Yeah. You're at a contest.
I got
and
a,
hosting a show. You're allowed to have a little bit of fun once in a while.
what happened to that Spitfire you built there? Reuben, was it Reuben or your dad?
Yeah, Ruben built that one for Tony, I think.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
that's Seafire.
Is Tony gonna fly that?
John Wright's got it. John Wright has the Seafire now.
He's
Oh,
got
John
it
Wright
from-
has it?
Yeah,
He got
Tony
it
gave it
from-
to John Wright.
Well, maybe we'll see it there because John Wright probably bring it.
He
Yeah.
built it for Tony Drago, and then Tony Drago gave it to
Tony,
John Wright.
moved out to California someplace with his family. He got family out there in California again. So he gave it to John.
Okay, well, what you building now?
New stiletto.
Ooh,
New stiletto 660. It's already built. It's all finished. It's all rubbed out and everything's up there. Now I'm in waxing part of it, and waxing and buffing.
Are you gonna fly this new one at the contest?
No, it's not. I haven't brought it up in time yet. And I don't have time to get it up in the air, so I'm not gonna have it up ready for the contest.
well, I'm
Go out there. When I've been flying, I'll have that one out there at the contest, but not the new one yet. It's a lot of work actually doing that.
I'm gonna maiden fly my SV-11 at the contest on Thursday, just because I'm here all alone. I don't have anybody that knows what they're doing. You know,
It's taken just as long, if not longer, to finish this airplane than it did to build it.
oh yeah,
The amount of work it goes into, and that's all preference, depending on how much you want to finish and how the scene you want to finish, and you really want to sand it down so you have that glass finish from color to color and everything. And everything that's not, how much you want to get about it is really how much.
This SV-11 is the ugliest airplane I ever built, but I built it, by golly, and with all of its ugliness, it is mine.
There we go.
But it is ugly. Be prepared.
Right now it's in waxing and buffing.
Franken 11.
What's that?
Franken V11.
Oh, it's no fun.
No.
And it's work. It's enjoyable work, but it's so fun. It's so work, especially on what I did like is it's automotive clear, so it's a lot harder to sand and work with, but you get a nicer finish out of it.
Yeah. Well, I've lost the ability to do that with my handicaps, but I can enjoy flying it. And I could take probably the empty box with a glue drops all over it and everything and get 8 points for the box. But I don't know if I could get that with the airplane.
Oh man, yeah.
Well, it brings a new meaning to the word elbow grease.
Yeah, there ain't no grease left in them.
Well, gentlemen, let me end the live stream. I want to thank everybody for coming in. It's Halloween. Some people have children and grandchildren, and so I appreciate the people that attended the show, watched the show, and hopefully you have a chance to come back Friday and tell us all about what you've been up to. Hopefully you get a chance to fly, and I'll be doing a little bit of report on how things are going Friday night. Now, is Friday night the party, or it's Friday or Saturday the party?
Saturday night is the party. Saturday night, yes.
Saturday night, okay.
We got 20 pizzas. We got all kinds of vegetable pizzas, meat pizzas, plain pizzas, pepperoni pizzas.
All right.
So we got a good deal.
So I was just curious if I
And
was.
all the drinks for 4 days at the field and at the house are complimentary.
Wow.
So
Awesome.
get thirsty. We got a lot of liquor.
Do I need to bring my own cayenne peppers?
Well, let me end the live stream, guys. Thank you very much. I just want to thank everybody for coming in,
Dr.
and
Pepper,
we
I got
will
Dr.
see you
Pepper.
again
Dr. Pepper.
Friday. So stay tuned for the me on site in Las Vegas Friday night at the Las Vegas Stunt Challenge. We will see you there.